Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from True Green 7 as we go back to an older topic. What if Pokemon could crossbreed, taking two Pokemon of compatibility to create a third new kind? Yes or no, we've done this video a few times, but this is a True Green 7 video style about it. So let's hop in and see what he has to create.
Hey guys, Ron here, and a couple of months ago I dabbled in one of the oldest Pokemon art trends online, Pokemon crossbreeds. You know how Pokemon can breed with other species as long as they're in the same egg group, but despite the offspring having two completely different Pokemon for parents, they are a genetic copy of their mother? Well, what if a Pokemon actually inherited traits from their father too? Some of you might be thinking that this is the same as fusions, but while Pokemon fusions are completely new Pokemon with a 50-50 combinations of both parents, Pokemon crossbreeds are very much one species with a bit of another. Like if a Xatu had a Braviary father and inherited some of his traits. Well, that's what we're doing today. You guys also seem to enjoy the cute little stories of how the parents of these crossbreeds met, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the previous parts and leave a like and subscribe so I know you want to see a part 3. Let's begin with two distinct Pokemon that are based on the same animal. What if a female Bellibolt was surrounded by ground types and a heroic Poliwrath came to her aid? The two quickly fall in love. The female Bellibolt inspires Poliwrath to do more ab workouts, and the male Poliwrath shows Bellibolt some helpful arm exercises. Their offspring would be a fit Bellibolt. We're basically taking a Bellibolt and just warping it into the shape of a Poliwrath. It works out perfectly that they both have unique stomachs I can easily combine. Its light will shine in a spiral. Check out Wrathful Bellibolt, an electric fighting type with the abilities Electromorphosis, Swift Swim, and Damp. This form of Bellibolt is highly energetic and always exerting itself, generating more electricity.
See, one thing about these videos is that since all he's doing is just the art and not anything else, also, excluding the stories, but since those are also short, we get a lot out of these videos.
Than the average Bellibolt. It's a fantastic swimmer and fighter. It's oblivious to all the admirers it has, as a result of its dedication to fitness and heroic feats. It can bounce quite high and brush off falls from great heights. It's always saving people and Pokemon who are stuck up high or at sea. If surrounded by jealous foes, Bellibolt will punch the ground, creating a shockwave that knocks out all Pokemon in its radius. Now what if two melodic birds fell in love? I suspect an aloof female Chatot would take pride in her technical music skills and practice every day, but a male Altaria would perch beside her and begin to sing with an unrefined and uneducated note, but with raw and sincere emotions. At first the Chatot is annoyed by the noise this Altaria makes, but the male Altaria shows much interest in her singing and is captivated by the Chatot's talent. They begin to learn from each other and sing together to make harmonious music. Their child would be a natural prodigy. Combining Chatot's music note crest with Altaria's flowing head feathers and white feathers of Chatot with Altaria's cloud feathers makes a lot of sense. Behold, Aria Chatot, a flying dragon type with the abilities Keen Eye, Natural Cure, and Cloud 9.
Weirdly, it kind of mixed well together.
Carefree Chatot can easily imitate the voice and tone of any human in Pokemon. Its music virtuosity allows it to sound like an entire band. It flies in the morning sky singing mesmerizing tunes to welcome the day. Since this Chatot can imitate every genre imaginable, it gets along with every single trainer no matter their taste in music. This form of Chatot gets along with Altaria too. A flock of Aria Chatot can mimic an orchestra and are often trained for performances at festivals.
Weirdly, this actually kind of reminds me of that one mutation alien thing from Lilo and Stitch. Mixel, I think its name was.
Now I wondered what a combination of the most reviled fish in the franchise and one that has a similar shape but is far more beloved would look like. What if two angler-wielding predators met? I'm thinking of an instance where a female Bruxish burrowed beneath the sand and began radiating psychic energy from the protuberance on her head. She lures in a hypnotized male Lantern, but as Bruxish pops out of her trap and opens her mouth wide to consume her prey, she is dazzled by Lantern's beautiful light and elegant form. As she is distracted, her spell is lifted, and the moment Lantern regains its will, he brightly shines his lure and escapes. After Bruxish regains her sight, she seeks out that Lantern to apologize. She offers Lantern a shelter, and they munch on it together. Lantern falls in love with Bruxish's patterns, and they bond forever. Their offspring would be a more inviting Bruxish. The body plans of these two is very similar. I'm combining the lures, giving her less gnarly teeth, and reconfiguring Bruxish's patterns and body shape to match Lantern's. Check out Light Bruxish,
a water
psychic type with the abilities Dazzling, Illuminate, and Wonderskin. Unlike most Bruxish, this one does not conceal itself to hunt. While it can't consume Pokemon with tough shells and spikes, all sea Pokemon that witness its light are drawn to it. It swallows small prey in a single gulp. Lanterns are the only Pokemon known to withstand the charms of its light. Two humanoid
That's
Pokemon with
pretty
green
good.
helmets that are native to Hoenn are Gardevoir and Cacturne. What if a traveling Kirlia got lost in the desert of Route 111, and a band of Cacturne stalked it, seeking an easy meal? As the Kirlia collapses from exhaustion, the group nears, but the leader can't help but feel bad for this Kirlia. He tries to convince the other Cacturne to not eat her, but in their anger they attack. The leader defends the Kirlia,
Oh,
and the
damn.
other Cacturne give up and abandon their leader. The lone Cacturne carries the Kirlia out of the desert. They become quick friends and fall in love. Their child will be a rather sharp Gardevoir. I wonder if Cacturne's sand blood will give rise to health problems in its Gardevoir offspring.
Oh,
It's actually a
that's
nice
most
coincidence that
likely
both
a
Pokemon have a
chest,
sharp
yeah.
spike in their chest, so accentuating that makes sense. Combining the green head was tougher than I thought, since Gardevoir's head is smooth and Cacturne's is jagged. I also didn't know if I wanted to give this Gardevoir Cacturne's whole mouths. I settled on one mouth, since at the end of the day, it's still a Gardevoir. Beware, Persistent Gardevoir, a psychic
Ooh.
dark type with the abilities Synchronize, Sandveil, and Trace. This
That
Gardevoir
looks
will do
pretty
anything
good.
to protect those they love. They have no reservations about taking unprompted revenge on those who have wronged their trainers. While they do not
Oh,
hunt for
yes.
food, Wild Gardevoir will chase after those who have found food. They are enemies of both Gardevoir and Cacturne, who find them to be inferior versions of themselves. Due to its thick blood, Persistent Gardevoir's body will stiffen if it does not move. This explains its constant search for stimulation. Now I want to combine two
I'll be honest, this would actually be a pretty good concept for them to add in-game, but they would have to make it to, well, you can only get the crossbreeds yourself. Well, like if you were to take a crossbreed and breed with a Ditto, it's a coin flip on which parent you then get. To get the crossbreed, you have to breed it yourself.
furry friends to create the ultimate thumbnail mon. What if a
Of
female
course.
Lopunny falls in
Oh.
love with the magic tricks of a male
Okay.
Meowscarada? This suave prankster originally treats Lopunny as one of the many women it has enchanted, but falls in love with her innocent love for magic, and the wonder she sees in the art form he has taken for granted. Their child would be a quite magical Lopunny. Both of these mon have a focus on rather feminine legs. They have puffy wrists and two cape-like appendages. Lopunny's ears and Meowscarada's leaf cape kind of work well together. Lopunny's
That is
actually
true.
completely innocent, but this one's got to look like it knows more than it's letting on. Behold, Magician Lopunny, a normal dark type with the abilities
Huh,
Q-Charm,
okay.
Limber, and the hidden ability Protean. More bold than the average Lopunny, this one will strut openly. When encountered by stronger foes, it misdirects them with tricks and runs away. In battle, it kicks and scratches with its retractable claws. While it isn't very cautious, it does not trust easily. As a master of deception, Lopunny is able to perceive any tension, hostility, or trickery. It rarely opens up to others, but when it does, it will shower its loved one with fun magic tricks.
Aww.
Now I find it funny how there are two nurturing bug Pokemon that roll their infants into a ball and or swaddle them. What if a little male Reller rolled up to a Leavanny who, upon seeing it exhausted from all its rolling, weaved it some clothes made of leaves? It thanked her
Oh,
with a
that'd be
big
so
smile and decided
cute.
to stay. They fall in love with how nurturing their partner is. When they had a baby, Leavanny wrapped the baby in leaves, and Reller, now a Rapska, rolled the sleeping infant soothingly on its legs. When their baby grew up, it became a telekinetic Leavanny. This one's tough since I have to make it work upside down. Rapska and Leavanny are also completely different interpretations of bugs, with Rapska looking like a literal scarab and Leavanny having the most minimal and inviting face for a bug type.
That
I
is
decided
true.
to put a Swaddle in the orb instead of a growing Reller. Here is Rolling Leavanny,
Oh.
a bug psychic type with the abilities Swarm, Synchronize, and Telepathy. This extra
Okay, I'm not against it, but this is definitely a joke.
carrying Leavanny creates a soothing ball to place its sleeping babies inside of. It wraps its infants in leaves to keep them extra warm. It's constantly watching its surroundings and will slice those that come near with its sharp arms.
Okay, now
It turns
it's
out there are
cute.
two steel types in the same egg group whose colors and patterns actually match in some way. Even Mawile and Lucario's bangs and dreads can be combined. Mawile
yeah.
usually lull their
Okay, I
foes
can
into
see that.
complacency with their cute face, only to chew them up with their horn. But what if Lucario are some of the few Pokemon who are never fooled by Mawile's charms because they can sense their aura? So naturally, a female Mawile will try to falsely make friends with a Lucario, but this male Lucario can sense her ruse and doesn't indulge in the cute faces she desperately makes. This Mawile is dumbfounded by Lucario's lack of interest. She makes it her mission to make him acknowledge her, eventually losing her initial hostility and truly becoming infatuated with this Lucario. Now that her aura has changed dramatically and
Cinderella.
Lucario only senses love in her heart, this Lucario begins to notice her. The Mawile becomes so happy she stays by Lucario's side forever, never fooling anyone ever again. Their child would be an aura-sensing Mawile. Both Mawile and Lucario have thighs that look like flat pants, black legs, and arms with jagged patterns,
They do
black
look like
markings on their
pants.
faces, with two protruding hair-like locks as well. It's a perfect fusion, but I gotta learn to tone it down and make it look like a Mawile with a Lucario snout and thighs. It's a bit uncanny since it looks like a messed up Mawile or a less cool Lucario. In the end, I settled with eyes more akin to Lucario's. Say hi to Aura Mawile, a steel fighting type with the abilities Hyper Cutter, Inner Focus, and Sheer Force. This Mawile is more honest and
It's a Mawile that just put on pants.
straightforward than the average Mawile. It fights honorably and does not prey on those that show no ill will towards it. It uses its long horns to sense the aura around it. When its jaw horns open up, they let out a blast of aura that can pulverize those behind it. Nobody can sneak up on Aura
okay.
Mawile. Now, ever since I watched the episode of the anime where Ash's Grovyle evolves into a Sceptile to save the Meganium it loved, I was super into the idea of them living happily ever after. But alas, the Meganium was in love with a Tropius. But what if that Tropius never existed? What would the child of Ash's Sceptile and that Meganium look like? While this end product will look
With
cursed,
crossbreeding.
they're both dinosaurs, so it'll look natural at the same time. The reason it will look cursed is because you'll be looking at a Meganium and bam! Quickly notice a Sceptile in there. It's basically a Meganium with Sceptile leaves instead of flowers. The head is just Sceptile, but the soul is still Meganium with those soft eyes. Say hi to Forest Meganium, a grass type with the abilities
that's not bad.
Overgrow, Unburden, and Leaf Guard. This form of Meganium is more agile and sharp. The seeds that
Now make it Mega Evolve. I'm sorry.
grow from its neck help revitalize forests. The fragrance that emanates from its leaves inspired travelers to keep on hiking. Forest Meganiums tend to be vigilant and will make sure weary travelers make their way through the forest successfully. No Pokemon dare fight
kinda
Meganium,
like this.
for their thick leaves will negate damage and slice up any attackers simultaneously. One swipe from its tail sends foes flying. And finally, I wanted to combine two mysterious Geolith
Oh boy,
Pokemon.
here we go.
What if a kind female Stonjourner was making her way to the spot of the local Stonjourner pilgrimage and asked a male Probopass for directions? The Probopass offered to show her the entire way, and they bonded over their trip and became lifelong travel buddies. Their eventual child will have a legendary schnoz. So what if a Stonjourner was
Mega
wearing a hat
Snow.
and had a big
Oh, no.
magnetic nose? The legs will be threefold to act like Probopass's three mini noses. So these legs will have noses instead of X-shaped patterns. Yeah, I know it's weird. Say hi to North-facing Stonjourner, a rock steel type with the abilities Power Spot, Sturdy,
Oh,
and
that
Magnet
is
Pull.
nice.
This Pokemon stands
That is
atop mountains
nice.
facing north. Its three legs offer optimal stability as it journeys across any terrain. While its nose hones in on the north, the mini noses on its legs sense the three other directions, allowing it to always know where it's going. The iron
that's
sand that
pretty good.
forms its mustache has been collected from across the world. And I hope everybody around the world watching this leaves a like if they enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't, so I know you.
Yeah, this was actually a really good video, and I honestly enjoyed it. Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.